Picture this. You've had an exhausting day of locking in and now you want to turn off your brain. What better way than to boot up the old YouTube and, lucky you, one of your favorite VTubers is streaming. Without anything else to watch, you decide to tune into her shenanigans, but before you can go, no thoughts had empty, you notice something wrong. That's weird, you think. You can't put your finger on it, but this character has changed. She still uses the same avatar, streams on the same channel, calls herself the same name, but it's not her. It's like she's been possessed, or worse, replaced. The term CTuber would eventually come to describe these types of streamers, or rather, these types of channels. In essence, you had a single avatar or model which would be controlled by many streamers. When a single streamer left the company, another replacement would quickly fill their spot and preserve the character that they played. Hooray! Corporate replaceability entering the VTuber scene. How fun. The history of CTubers starts with a little company called Unlimited Inc. and its game club project, but more on that later. The year is 2017. Streaming on Nico Nico as an anime girl is a smash hit in the land of the rising sun, and Kizuna Ai has decided to coin the word VTuber. With this new word came an industry. No longer did individuals have to refer to themselves as
virtual lifer
or
virtual talent.
they could instead unite under the flagship VTuber. As the ripple effect continued to spread, Japanese tech companies realized that they could hop on the bandwagon and leverage the new term to boost their search engine optimization. Enter Unlimited. Before Unlimited hopped on the VTuber bandwagon, they were a small company aimed at, quote, creating an array of animated characters and animated content. You know, like every other Japanese tech company. On March 6, 2018, Unlimited decided to launch one of its biggest and most ambitious projects, the Game Club project. But like a Discord bot developer to a pair of thigh-high socks, trouble soon followed. The Game Club project was a simple idea. A group of voice actors portraying a high school game club come together to play and review games. Wow, I wonder what genius came up with that. But a year later, the accusations came out. On April 5th, 2019, the talents behind the VTubers collectively quit their roles, claiming mistreatment and verbal abuse from the production staff. After 3 days of radio silence, Unlimited finally responded. And I get it. Some people have social anxiety. Look, I mean, I'm bad at public speaking. That's why I make YouTube videos, but come on. In short, the statement went, we're aware of these rumors, some corporate jargon. We're sorry, more corporate jargon. We're willing to change. And somehow, all the voice actors rejoined. Like a toxic ex after a breakup, they somehow got back together. I don't really get it either. Oh yeah, and then Unlimited fired them all again. And replaced them with different voice actors. And didn't tell anyone until after a month. And then the entire project fell apart a year later. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Moving on. When controversy inevitably came knocking at Unlimited's door, the company shat on controversy's face. You've got it all wrong, is what the company's statement basically said. Your simple, naive brain is too primitive to understand the goals of our company. It is now clear that we're not trying to make VTubers, no, we are trying to make CTubers, a character YouTuber. When we created Kaide is the president of the game club. It was with the understanding that she was a character that defies her focus on studying sports and gaming. She is not a real person, don't you understand? And yes, we did replace a voice actor, but that was so we could portray her character better. Her original voice actor simply didn't have the, didn't have the passion for gaming as Kaide would, you see. It's all quite simple. So simple. Obviously, this isn't Unlimited's actual statement, but you get the gist. They attempted to cover up their previous shading business practices with a middle finger to their fans. You know the meme of Phil Swift slapping flex tape onto a leaking tub? Yeah, that's Unlimited addressing workplace harassment and layoffs. When I say that the public was pissed about this situation, I mean they were yelling full name, shoe in hand, about to throw it pissed. As the weeks followed, channels that were a part of the Game Club project lost a total of 120,000 subscribers, making it as big, if not bigger, than the Cell and Tatsuki fiasco. You'd think that after such a disaster, Japanese tech CEOs would learn how to get better PR, but I guess not. I'm looking at you, Riku. I'm telling you, as a friend, wipe the accounts, wipe the servers, move to Venezuela. Change the company name to Sanji Yonji or something. Anyways, the Game Club project never recovered, continuing to dwindle in success until its demise in February 2021. Few people even knew about the project anymore, and even fewer cared after the EN VTuber boom. Unlimited changed its name to the Brave Group to avoid scrutiny, but still continues to remain in the industry. Do you hear that? That sounds like... Of course, we can't talk about CTubers without talking about Kizuna Ai herself. The company behind Kizuna Ai's conception is Activate, and on top of facing allegations of internal mismanagement, they were also responsible for the characterification of Kizuna. For those unfamiliar with Kizuna Ai's past, here's a brief SparkNotes version of the situation. In mid-2019, the Ai channel announced that Kizuna Ai would be cloned, and that her clones would be producing specialized content under Ai's character. Highly dedicated Ai fans were not happy about what felt like a replacement, leading Activate to release multiple statements that the original voice actor wasn't being replaced. Public unrest continued, stagnating channel growth, and the company would eventually recast these clones into their own individual VTubers. I'm gonna link a video by Mr. Nusagi in the description covering this period of Kizuna Ai. He goes in more depth than this SparkNote speedrun. Based on the two cases where CTubers have been realized, it's explicitly clear that the concept of a character YouTuber is seen as an inherent corporate cash grab attempt to squeeze metaphorical milk from the titties of anime waifus. Ensuring that these personas can effectively resist death or talent retirement is the first step on the road to creating a content form that isn't solely dependent on one person. And when the content is capable of outliving the consumer, there is no internal difference between a CTuber and, say, a television character like Walter White. However, there remains a stark difference between the two. While characters are meant to convey part of a narrative, VTubers and streamers by extension are meant to convey engagement. Unlimited and Activate fundamentally misunderstood their demographic, as their products were meant to offer a consistent method of fan interaction, not just characters to watch. You can recast Morpheus because the people watching The Matrix are not directly interacting with Morpheus. But you can't recast Nozomi Kasuga, the voice of Kizuna Ai, with a different voice actor because all the nuances, inside jokes, experiences, and intuitions will be recast too. A new character, if you will. This isn't apparent in the VTuber industry because an anime avatar can mask physical differences, but consider if someone like Ludwig was replaced. The wave of consequences will be far worse than those inflicted upon Unlimited or Activate. In rebooting a series, there's always a great risk of negative reception from trying to cash in the remaining hype of a beloved franchise. The conversion of VTuber to CTuber speaks to the negative impacts of corporatization on the industry, turning a cherished talent into, well, something else. The replaceability of voice talent that comes with CTuber feels impersonal, like the cold grasp of a business machine trickling down into social or parasocial interactions. While parasocial relationships are bad, the VTuber industry depends on them to build deeper connections and engagement with fans. A route that would not be feasible under the possibility of talent replacement that CTubers offers. This missing link severely limits building engagement or creating a core audience, and without a core audience, CTubers are commercially non-viable. I think that the motivation behind CTubers ultimately stems from wanting to continue a successful franchise after its key members have moved on. But reviving this Frankenstein's monster has only resulted in public mistrust every single time it's played out. Streaming is, of course, a social industry. There is no need to play God. There is no need to reanimate the dead. There is no need to puppeteer the decaying corpses of fallen heroes in desperate attempts to extend the waning light of the glory days. Because when they're over, they're over. The sun will set, so let them rest.